if you do a structure program or if you follow structure program, it will help you gain strength at twice or thrice faster rate. Losing fat takes almost 12 weeks. Gaining weight almost takes 12 weeks. It is just calories in versus calories out. The more calories you eat, better you will gain the weight. Lesser calories you eat, the faster you will lose your weight. But building the muscle mass, it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of consistent years.
Welcome everybody. Welcome to Mentor Chat, your favorite value-driven channel. Today's topic is powerlifting. For those who are interested in powerlifting, who do powerlifting, or just curious about the topic of powerlifting, please tag along. Our today's guest is Devendra Khule. He is Asian Powerlifting Champion 2018, Powerlifting School National Silver Medalist 2017, State Powerlifting Record Holder 2016. Currently, he is training for junior powerlifting competitions along with arm wrestling. He works as a personal trainer at Fit Ranger. He has a YouTube channel specific to this strength sport and training. He also offers online coaching. Along with this, he is also pursuing civil engineering and has a small t-shirt startup. Not to forget the crazy things he does too. For example, lifting rickshaws and bikes. Welcome Devendra, welcome to the show.
Yes. Hello. So how are you, bro?
I'm fine, I'm great. How are you?
Looks like you need to work out.
Yeah, that's why I have you on the podcast. So as to get some advice. I also want
Yeah,
to
bro.
bulk up.
Sure. 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 Sure.
For the audience, let me just in brief explain the flow of this podcast. So if you want to skip to some part, you can do that. So first we will talk about prerequisites and basic powerlifting. Then we'll move on to some competitions and the nature of the competition. Then we'll talk about training, recovery, and nutrition. And after that, we'll talk about powerlifting in India. So let's get started. So before moving on to what and how to do powerlifting, let us start with why, the purpose of powerlifting. So what are the benefits of powerlifting?
Yeah. So basically, powerlifting has lots of benefit to our human body. Basically, every being should be strong enough to uh, lift weights, and it is more functional in our daily life. Uh, in our basic routine, we lift weights from off the floor. We push things, we carry things. So basically, powerlifting is very much we do it in our daily basis. And in gym, most of the guys are actually doing powerlifting, but they don't know what exactly the movement is called, right? So whenever you start with your gym career, your trainer will tell you to squat, bench press, and deadlift. Those are the main compound exercises which every beginners have to follow, and that is the main basic fundamental components of the sport. So basically in powerlifting we have to do squats, then bench press and deadlift, but the poundages in the sport is very different. A beginner in a gym doesn't lift that heavy, but in a competition he has to lift like around whatever he can. So that so basically we call that as one rep max. So that is your 100% strength, and we have three chance to prove that how strong we are, and then the tally of all three lifts is like compared with other lifters. So powerlifting generally have a lot of benefits, for women we can say they get
High bone density.
yeah. So basically women can benefit from powerlifting, like their bone density will be increased. uh, then for a beginner, if their strength is high, they can lift more weights. That will lead to more hypertrophy. So more hypertrophy means is basically increasing your muscle mass.
Okay.
So for example, if you can lift a certain weight for certain number of reps, you will get more hypertrophy. So if you are weak, you won't be able to lift the weight, so you will not get enough hypertrophy. So basically the strength is very important in anyone's career. So uh, let's consider, if you are not a powerlifter, if you are a cricketer, the cricketers can use deadlift as a main compound exercise, which will help them build overall body strength, because a deadlift helps you build your quads, your core, your shoulders, it's almost a full body exercise. So it depends upon you, on how you how you want to use the powerlifting or any compound exercises.
So basically, it is for strength. You can build strength. Uh, so you can use powerlifting as a complementary exercise to the sports you are playing. And one more important fact I had heard is powerlifting or any burst exercise uh, helps you to increase your longevity. That is the
Yeah,
time you live.
yeah.
So
So there's also one more fact that I know. So if you squat daily, it is said to be that your testosterone levels will be increased. So in a male body, testosterone is a very important hormone to increase your muscle mass, increase your stamina, increase your overall body functioning.
right.
So squats are best to increase your testosterone. That's one more thing we can add on. And anyone who is looking for fat loss, they can also hop on into powerlifting, because basically compound exercises makes you use more than 3 to 4 muscles. So
Okay.
basically, when you're using more than 3 to 4 muscles, you will burn extra fuel, that is calories. So when you're using or burning more calories, you will burn more fat, you will lose your weight, and you will get in that state of fat loss.
So the next question is, you have started powerlifting at a quite young, so you have been into fitness since a very young age. You started, I guess, at around 14. Then you moved to competing in powerlifting.
Yeah.
And what kind of body transformation did you have when in the age of 14 to when you first competed? And the second is from that day when you first competed to now. So how has your body changed in terms of height, weight, strength, and muscle?
Okay. So from starting, I have been a tall kid. Like when I was in seventh standard, I had already been at around 5'8", 5'9". So basically, my height stopped increasing after eighth or ninth standard. So
Okay.
when I first competed in powerlifting meet, I was around 6 feet at the body weight of around 67 to 68 kgs. So that was the first time I competed in any professional competition. Basically, I lost there. So that was the main motivation, that I knew ki I was very weak. So I had that mindset that I have to get stronger. So basically, if you want to get stronger, powerlifting or compound exercises are not only way you go through it. You can increase your strength just by using your bodyweight exercises. We call it as calisthenics. So I started out with calisthenics. I improved my body strength. So I feel if you cannot move your own body weight, you cannot move dead weights. So I just basically practiced calisthenics for almost 2 years. I did push-ups using 100 kg weights on my back. So basically that gave me good start for powerlifting. So when I started powerlifting professionally, I gained around 10 to 15 kgs of body weight. Most of that was muscle, because as a beginner we gain muscle very fast. So I gained around 15 to 10 to 15 kg. I went from 68 kg to 87 kg. I maintained that body weight for around 2018. That was the last competition I competed, which was international powerlifting competition. So basically, I didn't increase my body weight after that. I just had to recomp, and I just had to be in a calorie maintenance and just uh, understand the movement. Strength is very movement specific. You cannot compare a kusti wala guy with a powerlifter, because kusti wala guy or a wrestler, he is very much adapted to his training routine. So he will improve in that routine. He doesn't need to increase his strength in lifting weights. But for us specifically, we just need to squat, bench press, and deadlift. So when you focus your full attention to a certain movement, you will grow in it. So as a beginner, I just wanted to focus on the movement. I didn't like also there are different weight categories, so I had to be under 93 kg category. So for most of my career I competed in 93 kg category. In my first competition I competed in, I guess, 74 kg category because I was 68 kgs. Then I moved two categories up, so I just stayed in 93 kg category because I had lot of room to room because I had lot of room to improve in that category. So in that category, I almost squatted 240 kgs. Then I bench pressed 135 kg and deadlifted 250 kg. All of them was like state record, and I guess it's not broken yet. Maybe it is broken, I don't know. But yes, also if you gain weight at a faster rate, you will gain fat. But if
Oh,
you're a beginner and you gain weight, you will put on lot of muscle and lot of strength. But you have to be focusing more on the movement to get better at it
okay.
rather than
So
just
that
increasing your body weight.
right. So that brings me to the just follow-up question regarding whether is it easier to lose weight and get in shape for powerlifting, or is it easier to gain weight and be in that optimal form for powerlifting?
I'll say losing weight and gaining weight is the most easiest thing, but gaining muscle mass is the most difficult thing you will ever face because
Okay.
building muscle takes a lot of time. Losing fat takes almost 12 weeks. Gaining weight almost takes 12 weeks. It is just calories in versus calories out. The more calories you eat, better you will gain the weight. Lesser calories you eat, the faster you will lose your weight. But building the muscle mass, it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of consistent years. So yeah, that's it.
So before you made it to Team India, what were the major competitions that you think you won before? So, what were the stepping stones, the major competitions that you won before actually performing at for Team India?
Okay. So basically in India, we have to compete in districts, then states, and then nationals. And if you get then if you get a gold medal in national, you will get selected for international competitions. I don't know why this whole system is still here in India, because I have friends in US and other countries that don't have this sort of system where they have to compete continuously to get a certain competition. They just have a selection match and then they will just compete in the international match, that is world powerlifting competition. So what happens here is when you max out for more number of times, you will lose your strength, right? So if you are at a peak and you just what we say uh,
Keep on participating, then you will
yeah
burn out, I think.
yeah. So if you compete continuously, you will burn out, you will get injuries, you won't grow as much as you will grow in a structured program. So I don't think that this system is very much beneficial for our Indian athlete. That's why I think most of Indian athletes don't perform well in the international competitions, because they have to go through all these minor
Right.
competitions which are not important in their career or in that time period.
Okay. So, in every competition, what is the winning criteria in India?
So in India, it is very low, but it will be increased in coming years. So for every category, there are different winning totals. Like I don't know for a lot of categories, but for me, when I was in 93 kg category and I was 16 years old, for me winning any competition in India, I had to squat 200 kg, I have to bench press 100 kg and deadlift 200 kg plus. So it is always better if you can lift more rather than you can lift less. So I guess if anyone is watching this video or this podcast who is interested in competing, just keep this in mind that you have to lift more as much as you can, because you never know who will come there in the competition and who will lift more than you, because we never know uh, what newcomers can lift, because the Indian strength community is growing a lot in a great spirit right now. So a lot of young generation lifters are coming up. Like just like in today's case, I just saw a 66 kg 18-year-old. He was lifting 250 kg deadlift for almost 3 repetitions. So just imagine,
Oh,
if he max out, he will be able to deadlift around
right.
280 to 275 kg. So you never know.
Exactly. Right. So you mentioned that there are 3 attempts. So do they take the best, or what do they
Yeah,
do?
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
So they will
the
give you
best.
3 attempts per lift. So for squat, you will have 3 attempts. Then they will choose whichever the lift is highest. So for example, in squat, if you did first attempt 80 kg, second attempt 90 kg, and third attempt 100 kg, they will consider 100 kg, and then they will tally all your main lifts that are bench press top attempt and deadlift top attempt, and they will then they will total the total 3 attempts, and they will like show you who is the winner.
Okay.
So
So
whoever
basically,
makes the
there.
more total, whoever gets more total will win the match.
Okay. So all 3 competitions. Whoever will be the best will win the whole competition, and there
Yeah,
are individual winners as well.
yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
basically, there are different weight categories. You will win. You will win in that specific weight category. If you want to win overall competition, you have to be at there is a certain rule that is called Wilks point or IPF points. It is changing continuously, so I don't remember what exactly the system is right now, but I guess it is IPF point. So what it basically does is it equates your body weight with the total quantity of weight you have lifted. So, for example, most of the guys who win overall competitions are from the lightweight categories, because they are light and they lift more weight. So there are very less chances that a 120 kg plus category guy can win a total competition in most of the time.
Oh, I got it. I saw one of your video where you actually posted the final match that you in which you won the gold medal. So I saw that there was timing on the board. So what is it for? Like,
So when you're competing in a powerlifting competition, you get almost 1 minute to complete the lift. So as soon as your name is announced, you have to get on the stage and you have to touch the bar. And once you touch the bar, either you have to lift it or you have to just leave it. So
okay,
if you are not able to touch the bar in under 1 minute, your your lift will be disqualified.
okay. So in 1 minute you have to lift the
Yeah,
bar. And
yeah.
how much time do you have to hold? For example, if you do the deadlift or the bench press, how much?
So so basically there are different rules for every lift we do. Like for squat, we have to unrack the weight. We have to wait until the referee says squat. Then we will squat the weight. Then we will come up. Then we will still wait until the referee says rack it. So
Racket.
the referee says rack it, we will rack the weight and then we will go. But until then, we have to wait in that certain stationary position. Same with deadlift, you just have to go, lift the weight, and wait till the referee says down. So when the referee will say down, you have to just you don't have to drop the weight. You have to put the weight as slowly as you can. Then that's it. So for any
Okay,
further information about the rules in every specific lift, I've made a video in Hindi. You can check it out in my YouTube channel.
right. So Devendra has a lot of content put on and detailed videos put on each factor of powerlifting and training. So if you want to dive really in detail, you can visit his channel link in our description below. Uh, Now moving on to the next question, training. So now let's move on to training part. So as a teenager, when you are competing back then, when you were a teenager, what was your training like?
So I was under coach. So basically in India, a lot of coach don't know how to structure a powerlifting program. So there are different types of powerlifting programs. I was using 5 by 5, which is 5 repetitions of 5 sets. So for example, I still remember when I started with powerlifting with my coach, he told me to squat 5 sets of 5 repetition with 90 kg, right?
Okay.
So on my first day I was able to do it. On my second week I was able to do it, but on my third week I was not able to do it. So I just stalled at that certain number that was around 110 kgs, I guess. So every week I had to increase my weight if I complete all 5 reps in all 5 sets. But at certain period you will stall at that specific number.
Right.
We call it as plateauing. So I was plateaued at that number.
Okay.
So my training was very simple. I just had to do 5 sets of 5 repetitions on every lift. Every time I come in my gym, every time I went into my gym, I have to increase my weight by 5 kg or 2.5 kg. That was the basic progression. But as if now I am learning a lot of thing about programming. Powerlifting is a very vast sport. It has lots of thing to learn. So as a beginner, I was growing at a faster rate because beginner doesn't have that much of stimulus. They lift lesser weight, they recover faster. So when you recover faster, you will increase your strength faster. So as a beginner, I was like a genetically gifted child because even my dad was into powerlifting, my mother was into another sports. So genetically, I was gifted. So I was growing at a faster rate. And to be honest, if you're a beginner, whatever you do, you will grow in it. You don't need any sort of programming or any sort of structure. But if you do a structure program or if you follow structure program, it will help you gain strength at twice or thrice faster rate.
Okay.
So it depends upon you how you want that progress.
Right. And I'm specifically asking you to classify as training for teenagers and training for like adults, like after 18, because of the body structure. So, along with lifting your weights, what kind of exercises did you do as a teenager? The exercises to increase strength overall. What kind of
So funny thing here
exercise?
is I never did anything other than squatting, deadlifting, and bench pressing.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
as a teenager, I never did lots of bicep curls or lots of other accessory movement which uh, lot of teenagers go through. Because if you see, if you're bench pressing, your tricep will grow. That will certainly help you grow your arms because your arms are most because your arms consist most of the mass from your tricep. So that was the
Right.
reason I had big biceps in my school age and then my college days. So there are a lot of misconceptions in bodybuilding that you have to do lots of bicep curls to grow your bicep. You have to do lots of rowing to increase your back muscles. But for me, if you do just compound exercises in your prime time or in your beginning stage, you will grow because compound exercises uses more than 3 to 4 muscles in your body. So when you are
So,
squatting, your thighs will grow, your fat will get reduced at a certain rate, your muscles will start to pop out. In bench press, your chest, pectoral muscle, your tricep, your shoulder will increase. Then in deadlift, your biceps will grow, your forearms will be grow, uh, because in deadlift your biceps will grow, your forearms will grow because you are holding the bar. So when you are holding the bar,
right.
you are just squeezing the forearms, you are squeezing your hold palm. That will basically stimulus your forearms to grow. Then your core strength, it just depends
Right.
upon the structure. For me,
Correct.
bodybuilding was not a prime or major goal. My major goal was just to be as strong as I can. So I just did
Okay.
that. So whenever I have to like go in a certain event, I will just do 10 sets of bicep curls or 5 sets of bicep curl, and then I will just go. But never it was that important for me to do bicep curls or shoulder presses that more often.
So, what is your training right now? How do you train right now? What is your daily training routine?
Okay, so right now in lockdown, I'm not training at all. I'm just training my brain. I'm just learning as much as I can, as much I
Right.
can get information from other coaches, and I'm applying it on my clients. So
Right.
whoever
But
have
back when you were in the competition, I was asking when you are in the peak season, what does a training uh, day look like in a powerlifter's life?
Okay, so basically, I don't remember anything when I just like when I was training for my Asian competition, because everything was answered to me by my coach. I wasn't like monitoring anything. So whatever he used to tell me, I used to do that. But I can share you what type of training or what type of principle I am using or I will be using in coming future. So
Right.
in powerlifting, basically there are 12 weeks of training. So if you divide 12 weeks into three blocks, you will work for you will work for 4 weeks in three different blocks. Every block has a different benefit of it. So for example, in first 4 weeks, you will work for your hypertrophy. You will work on high repetitions. You will increase your muscle mass. You will get lots of volume. Then in second block, that is strength block, you will focus more on your weights, that is poundage, and increase the volume. Then in your last power block, that is the time when you do 1 rep maxes and see that you have progress or not. You will do higher poundages and very low reps. So for example, in your hypertrophy block, you will do 10 repetitions of 3 to 4 sets. In your strength block, you will do 6 repetitions of 3 to 4 sets. In your power block, you will do uh, doubles, that is 2 repetitions or 1 repetitions of a single set, and then back downs of some 5 repetitions or 5 repetitions of 3 sets to get the volume in. So basically, programming stuff is harder to explain. So
Right.
it
Right.
really depends on the individual on how he wants to improve it, how he wants what his life goal is, or what his certain competition goal is.
Okay. Right. And so, apart from, like I asked you, when you are a teenager, you didn't follow any specific other exercises for strength building. But what about now? What supporting exercises do you do?
Yeah. So for example, if you're not growing in a squat, you can try and use different variations of squat that has closer carryover to your squat. So for example, if you're weak in squat, you can try out tempo squats or pause squat. So in a tempo squat, that is 303. So you will descend in 3 seconds. You will pause. You will not pause at the bottom, and you will come up in 3 seconds, right? And then in the pause squat, you will go down. You will pause for 3 seconds, and then you will come up. So when you pause at the bottom, it will help you contract your muscle. It will help you understand what bracing really is, and eventually improving in that certain variation will help you increase your strength in that main movement, which is squat.
Okay.
Or for example, in
Right.
your bench press, if your bench press is weak, you can do lots of close grip variations. You can do lots of tricep extensions. You can improve your arch. You can improve your flexibility. It really depends on what your weaknesses are. So I cannot basically just tell what you should do until I don't know what your weaknesses are, right? So if you tell me that you are weak off your floor, so I will tell you to do spotter presses. So that's how I coach my client. So before I don't see anything, I will not change anything in your training routine, because if it's not broken, then there is no point in fixing it, right?
Right. But but that comes from a point where you have to improve on the bad points, but you also have to continuously maintain the strength. So uh, that kind of exercises are also needed, like push-ups, and so these
No.
get
Okay.
so these so I'm just giving an example. I don't know what kind of exercises are to be followed, but
Yeah.
are there any exercises that just help you to maintain the mass that you have and uh, always be in the form?
Okay. So as I said, you just have to get in your compound movements. So
Right.
in my past, I was squatting only once. Right now, I can squat thrice a week. That is, I can squat 3 times in a week with higher percentages, with higher poundages. So,
Right.
so if you want to just maintain your strength, you first have to follow a program. You have to follow good coach who knows what you are doing, who knows that what it takes to be a better athlete.